For my problem of practice, I'm focused on students who need remediation in a fifth grade math class in the state of Texas. To help with this, I've created a table of confidence here where students go through and rate their level of confidence with each of the standards I've taught this year. For convenience, I've broken it down into the major categories that will be tested on our end of the year state assessment. And for my students' convenience, I've marked how important I find each of the categories based on the assessment they'll be taking soon. Category 1 is of medium importance, while Category 2 is of high importance. Each of my students, through my test of this tool, went through and marked where they feel they would perform if the test were to happen now in each of these categories. Students understand the terminology of SC as well as the number, as this is the way that I list my objectives on the board each morning, and it's the way I've organized their notes. If a student were to feel completely confident going into the test with this particular standard, they would put a check here with got it. If they feel they need a little more help, but they could possibly do well on that standard, they would mark almost there. And if they feel like they still need some work there, they would mark help please. After each of my students filled out this table of confidence, I had private conversations, I had private conferences with each student where I had a couple of questions listed out so that I could get some feedback from them to see how this is working. I was surprised to find that many of my students were very honest about how they felt about each of these standards, and they took this as a tool that would help them prepare better for the tests than anything I was able to do if I was just teaching the whole class. Based on the tests I've run so far on this particular tool, I've been able to develop some small groups that focus on what students need in my class based on their individual feedback that they give me. So far, this test has been fairly successful. However, I do feel that this is a very broad and wide-ranging document that would need to be broken down a little bit more. As I found with anything in the classroom, the initial test, no matter how much I prepare for, is only mildly successful and has to be tweaked over time. I do plan on making some alterations to this document. However, after my initial test, I'm pleased with how it's gone so far in my classroom.